Matt Harvey made his return to the mound after missing the entire 2014 season. And in his first start of the 2015 season, he beat Steven Strasburg and the Nats. Of course, his last start of the 2015 season was more memorable, even though he came out on the losing end. But Harvey's better. All right, Britt, whose peak was better, Harvey or Strasburg?
How is this even a question? Steven Strasburg won the World Series MVP. I mean,
yeah,
where is the peak beyond that? Like, that is the highest point of the peak in my mind, Sal. So it's definitely Steven Strasburg. People forget in 2019, Max Scherzer was hurt, and they wouldn't have even got to the playoffs. They got in as a wild card, if not for Steven Strasburg going on an unbelievable tear. So yes, his last contract was awful. He did retire. You know, the way it ended was sad, but there's no question in my mind. What was Matt Harvey's highlight? What was the peak of his career?
I don't know. I mean, Matt Harvey, to me, watching them both, and I admit I watched more of Matt Harvey, but him at his peak on any given night, to me, he was better than Strasburg.
Oh, Sal, come on. You're forgetting how good Strasburg was.
It's Sal on X.
Do you remember his debut when he struck out?
I remember Harvey blowing it again, going head-to-head. Harvey looked at me. Strasburg didn't have the
Sal, you keep going,
guts. Let's clean it up here.
You can't even get the World Series MVP. That says it all.
Oh, okay.
Come on, that's as peak as you can get, right?
Yeah. Congratulations. That's nice years after the fact. I mean, Matt Harvey and Strasburg, when they were going head-to-head at both their peaks, Harvey was dominant.
I think Matt Harvey had a lot more polarizing moments in his career that maybe stand out and really grab you and pull you in.
Going to the Jeter game when it's a Met, Derek Jeter.
Something like that. But when you have all the pressure of the world like Steven Strasburg did, he was 1-1, right? Like, yes. I think that when you are of that caliber, you win a World Series, you're the MVP, and you had a decade run. A decade run. Sorry, Sal, you lose
the question is not who had a better career.
I know. I understand. Matt Harvey had more polarizing moments, but he in his
Harvey's better. Harvey, I got you. I watched it with my own eyes. Nobody burst onto the scene like the Dark Knight of Gotham. I loved him. Unfortunately, it didn't end in a World Series win, but I still love City Pregame Live coming up next. Bye.
Gator Light. Rapid rehydration with a specialized blend of 5 electrolytes and lower sugar. Hydration for every athlete, forever.
Today and every day at the Home Depot, it's easy to shop and swap for the features you want at the lowest prices guaranteed, so you get innovative appliances like LG. Exactly how you want them. Shop top brands in-store and online at the Home Depot.
What's up, guys? What I'm about to show you is going to change the way you shave your head forever.
You can shave your head in 90 seconds or less with no cuts or nicks.
Introducing Remington's new and improved Balder Boss. With increased flex and 5 dual-track floating head design, get over 60% more head coverage for a faster, closer shave and skin-close results. And only through this exclusive TV offer, now you can try it in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. Balder Boss is the fast, easy, safe way to shave your head, wet or dry, in 90 seconds or less, without nicks or cuts.
No nicks, no scrapes. Fit in the palm of my hand, and the results were amazing.
The 360-degree pivoting neck contours closely around your head curves for maximum contact. Anytime, anywhere, in 90 seconds or less. With exclusive Wet Tech technology, shave in the shower, or with any foam or gel. Japanese-grade steel blades and turbo power plow through the thickest of hair, yet gentle enough it won't irritate skin. With pure lithium power that lasts up to an incredible 60 minutes. That's like 1 full month of use without a recharge. Then easily rinses clean. There's even a pop-up trimmer to complete your perfect groom. Now, you can try the Remington Balder Boss in your home for 30 days for just $14.99. But wait, order now, and we'll ship it to you absolutely free. You can also get our ear, nose, and brow trimmer for the ultimate groom. Free. Just pay separate processing and handling. Every Balder Boss comes with a 5-year limited warranty where durability is guaranteed, plus a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you don't absolutely love it, send it back, but keep the trimmer as our gift just for trying.
I got a clean, nice, smooth shave in under 90 seconds. No nicks, no cuts.
So order now.
The Honda you want is here. Driving the moment with the rugged and capable Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Find your adventure with great offers now available on the Honda you want. all from the 2023 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Brandon Nimmo into the chop house, a 3-run homer. His first of the year, and the Mets have come from 4 runs down to get even. Brandon Nimmo ties the game again with his second home run of the night. 9th pitch of the at-bat, and he lines one toward the middle, base hit. Nimmo drives in his 5th run of the night. What an at-bat by Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo having a night.
Yes, what a night it was for Brandon Nimmo and the Mets. They came from 4-0 down, knocked off the Braves last night down in Atlanta 8-7 as we welcome you. In City Pregame Live, Gary Apple once again back alongside Todd Zeland. By the way, it was just the first time in 50 seasons the Mets overcame a 4-run deficit on the road to knock off the Braves. And so tonight the Mets going to look to make it 2 consecutive over Atlanta. Uh-oh, Todd, what's that all about?
Did you hear that, Gary?
I heard that, but I'm not sure what exactly is going on here.
Is that what I think it is? Is that who I think it is?
That could be. I hope it's not The Undertaker. No, it's not.
Oh.
It's Jerry Blevins making his first studio appearance of the season. Great to see you, Jerry.
Thank you, guys.
That was a little scary.
Let's not make it weird. I just like to make an entrance.
That is an entrance, by the way.
Probably some people at home that wish he was coming in to body slam one of us.
The choke slam, right? Isn't that what The Undertaker did to The Rock over the weekend?
That's true. I'm more of a Conor McGregor knockout guy myself.
I like that. Well, it's good to see you, Jerry. Welcome to the broadcast here tonight. Let's get our broadcast going now that we get down to business here by going in the zone and going to focus in here on Brandon Nimmo, who had the first 5 RBI game of his career last night. Obviously, the results last night were fantastic for Brandon and the Mets. But what about his overall at-bats that we have seen from him, Todd, over the last few games?
Well, one of the things we pointed out in last night's game is that he had the hardest hit rate on the team. He had been most consistently hitting the ball hard, but I saw earlier on in the season, he was doing things that were a little un-Brandon Nimmo-like, and he was taking good pitches and hacking at pitches out of the zone, very, different than what you see, as you saw right away in the early going, a couple of pitches down the middle and then chases early. And you could tell that he didn't quite have his rhythm. He jumped to last night. And by the way, Cincinnati, he had some good at-bats in between, but you see him spit on that ball by Morton. They called it a strike, but it wasn't a good pitch to hit. He spits on that changeup, then gets one over the plate and unloads it into the old tomahawk chop house right there last night, and put a hurt on another one in the 7th inning. Minter, in his career, going into this at-bat, 2 for 10 with 6 strikeouts. That pitch called a strike. Brandon doesn't like it, but it's not a pitch he wants to swing at. Comes back with the changeup, a good one. He doesn't bite, and then he's set up right now, gets the ball center cut, and drives it out of the ballpark straight away. Been so good at staying in on lefties, and when he starts getting hot, we've seen Brandon really, really get hot, and he can be very, very exciting in that lineup, but he can also be a leader, as I've been saying from the beginning. I think when he goes, this team goes. I think he's so important to be the guy that sets the tone at the top of the lineup. It was great to see him come out last night.
And I do agree, him off of lefties is awfully impressive because he's worked really hard to become so proficient against lefty pitchers. When you look at him, Jerry, against lefties, what jumps out at you?
Well, he's always had a polished approach. Ever since he came up, he would pinch hit. That's really difficult to do, but I saw it from an early age when he came up as a rookie. He never deviated from what he was trying to do. And even in those first few years from 16 to 18, you see on the left there, he was very limited. It was because they would platoon him a little bit. He didn't quite earn that trust yet. And then you see from 19 to 24 in this year, he's really doing it against lefties. The more at-bats, the more comfort he feels. And I think the power numbers, like we saw against lefty A.J. Minter last night, I think that's going to continue because of his approach that he changed last year. So not only is he put together good at-bats and get on base, I think those power numbers, because the pitchers are going to have to come at him knowing that he's going to take swings like that off of a very good reliever in A.J. Minter. And I think it's going to continue throughout the rest of his season and probably his career.
Yeah, now I agree with you, too. And I think you mentioned the power. The power is something Brandon Nimmo's always had. He's He's a strong kid. The ball jumps off his bat, but he was a guy that, when he first came up, was concerned with getting on base, fighting to have deep at bats, finding his way to walk. We talked about the force field. Well, he's taken some of that away and said, well, I'm giving up a lot of pitches in the zone, trying to work walks, trying to have the force field, and he's become the aggressor in the right times in the count. And now, as the aggressor and some work to get the launch angle, to get the ball in the air a little bit more, you're seeing that power pay.
And he had those 24 home runs season ago. That was a new career high for Brandon Nimmo. Let's get checked right now the lineups for tonight's game, beginning with the Mets. Brandon Nimmo back in the leadoff spot with Starling Marte moving up to bat second for the first time this season. Brett Beatty, 3 more hits in the game last night, batting fifth. DJ Stewart hit that big home run in the 8th inning. He's in the 6th hole, and Omar Narvaez does the catching for the Mets tonight. He's batting 9th. As for the Braves, it is the same lineup they put out there last night with Acuna and Albies, Riley and Olsen at the top. Albies, couple of hits, drove in 3 of the Braves' 7 runs in the game last night. Marcelo Zuna, the DH, batting 5th. He homered last night. He has now homered in 4 consecutive games against the Mets. And right now it is time for Storylines, and those are presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. And with Fanatics Sportsbook, you can earn up to 5% fan cash back on your bet. Spend fan cash on jerseys, on fan gear, bonus bets, and so much more. On top of that, get a personalized offer every day with the Power Hour rewards. Scan the QR code on the screen and download the app today. So tonight's same game parlay looks like this. Brandon Nimmo to get a hit in the game. Ozzie Albies to also to get a hit, and Adrian Hauser over 3.5 strikeouts. It's a 3-leg parlay that pays out at plus 320. Tonight marks Adrian Hauser's second start for the Mets. Gave up a run over 5+ innings in his Mets debut against the Tigers. Jerry, what did you like about his first outing in a Mets uniform?
I like that he showed what he's going to try to do all season and his whole career. He filled the zone up. He's going to make the defense work, and he really started off that sinker, and he did it early in the game. You'll see him working that sinker away, getting ground balls. When he's at his best, that's what he's going to do. He's going to get ground balls, weak contact, let the defensive work, and he does this. He makes the offense make plays. He's going to allow that defense, especially up the middle, to do that for him. And not to mention that he does sneak in some good strikeouts here. He works that sinker away and then works that slider that comes out of the same slot and then breaks the other way. He's a very polished, above average Major League Baseball pitcher, and he's going to just do that day in, day out. This is a tough lineup for him to face, but he's going to fill up the zone. He's going to do what he does day in, day out.
And I think the part you're talking about, a tough lineup to face, it's great that he is a veteran guy, because a veteran guy that doesn't have the greatest stuff still recognizes that he has his own game plan. You can't go in and be intimidated against this lineup, even though it's an intimidating lineup. And as soon as you try to nitpick and try to be too fine, that's when you get behind, you come in, and they're going to make you pay. So he's going to have to go with his game plan, try to induce contact, let his defense play, and let the chips fall.
All right, so it's going to be Adrian Hauser on the mound for the Mets tonight. Reynaldo Lopez, the veteran on the hill for the Atlanta Braves. By the way, the Mets made a roster move earlier today. They designated the pitcher Julio Teheran for assignment. He lasted just 2 2/3 innings last night in his Mets debut, and to take his spot on the roster, the Mets have selected the reliever Daniel Nunez from AAA Syracuse. And so Todd and Jerry and I, we're just getting going here on City Pregame Live. When we come back, we'll have an update on J.D. Martinez. When might we see him in the Mets lineup? We're all coming back. That does not include The Undertaker. We'll come back in just a moment.
City Pregame Live is brought to you by City. Do you want an opportunity to be the next City Community Home Runs fan of the game and have a chance to win a VIP trip or 2 to New York Mets Spring Training 2025? Go to SNY.TV/CHR to learn more and enter.
The City Custom Cash Card automatically adjusts to earn you more cash back in your top eligible spend category, like restaurants.
That's amazing. It's my day off.
You don't have to choose a spending category.
Can I get the pancake triple play?
Or activate anything to earn.
Yo, no way!
Your cash back automatically adjusts for you.
Great, because we are not going anywhere after this.
Earn 5% cash back that automatically adjusts to your top eligible spend category. Up to $500 spent each billing cycle with the City Custom Cash Card.
Ugh.
Put it in the books.
When you come to Catholic Health Cancer Institute, we'll get to know you. Every detail, from the genetic makeup of your cancer to your other health conditions to your emotional and physical needs. Because each detail gives us another opportunity to personalize your care and improve your outcome. And all of them can add up to a life-changing difference. At Catholic Health, We know you. We know cancer, and we know your cancer.
Fans, you always turn up, and you make the game what it is. So we think you deserve a better betting experience. Every time you bet with Fanatics Sportsbook, win or lose, you get up to 5% of your wager back in fan cash. Spend it on jerseys, fan gear, bonus bets, and more. On top of that, get a personalized offer every single day with Power Hour rewards. Welcome to the most rewarding sportsbook.
When you prefer dream vacation over a rental nightmare. It matters where you stay. Hilton for the stay.
It is time right now for us to go inside the game, and for that we head down to Truist Park in Atlanta, and that's where we welcome in Anthony DiComo of MLB.com, one of our favorites. Good to see you, Anthony. Did you get the sense in the postgame clubhouse last night that the come-from-behind win was of significant magnitude for this squad?
Yeah, absolutely, Gary. It was an interesting atmosphere here last night. They were honoring Hank Aaron's 715th home run. You go out. I was walking outside the stadium before the game. There was a marching band. There was a DJ. There were 37,000 plus people here. I have covered playoff games here. I've covered World Series games here, and it wasn't super far off in terms of the atmosphere. So I do feel like Mets players felt that and fed off it. And there was also a sense, Gary, that this has happened the other way around here for the Mets so many times over the years. Brandon Nimmo referenced the game last June where he hit a grand slam. The Mets were leading by 4 runs pretty late in that one, ultimately lost in extra innings. They were tired of it, and the fact that they were able to push back and survive what was really an onslaught late from those Braves hitters hitting the ball all over the park, I think it was a very good thing, and it was a game in which this Mets team grew a little bit.
I would agree. I think they struggled out last night in coming from behind down 4-0 early in the game. Listen, Tony, we continue to wait for J.D. Martinez to finish up down in Florida and down in the minors and join the Mets, get into this lineup. So give us the latest, as you know it, on J.D. Martinez, when we might see him in Queens.
Well, it's going to be a little bit, Gary. He received a cortisone shot in his lower back today. It's this very same thing that he had last year when he was with the Dodgers back in April. It is not an uncommon thing for him, but that cortisone takes 3 to 5 days to work to get through his system. J.D. Martinez and the Mets are pretty confident that once that's over, he's going to be able to swing a bat just fine, no problems again. But again, it takes time. Once he does come back from that 3 to 5 days, you're talking about more swings on the backfield in the minor leagues, then maybe a minor league game or two. And then after all that, assuming everything goes well, then you start talking about J.D. Martinez up here in a Mets uniform. The Mets aren't putting a timetable on it, Gary, but I would guess that next homestand is probably out. I think next Friday, a week from Friday, when they open up that West Coast swing in Los Angeles, might be the first time we would have a chance at seeing J.D. Martinez make his Mets debut.
And I think having him open up against the Dodgers, where he played last, would be interesting, to say the least. What about Reed Garrett? He really was, Anthony, one of the unsung heroes of the win last night. He went 2 1/3 scoreless innings in relief of Julio Teheran. How does the Mets organization feel about Reed Garrett?
They feel really good about Reed Garrett. And the fact that he is still here today is pretty telling. How many times have we seen over the years, Gary, a guy go out, throw 30-something, 40-something pitches, as Reed Garrett did last night, and then get optioned down to the minors the next day? It happens all the time. It is a necessity in this business. But the Mets didn't want to have to wait those 15 days, those 2 weeks, to call Reed Garrett back up, because they consider him an integral part of the bullpen. This is a different pitcher than he was a year ago. And I was talking to Reed earlier today. He referenced a doubleheader in Atlanta last year when he gave up 6 runs and really started questioning everything at that point. So he sat down and he kind of fixed it. He both physically and mentally fixed it. Physically, we're talking about a guy that has a different repertoire. He throws a sweeper now. He throws a 2-seamer, which pitching coach Jeremy Hefner really likes. And then mentally, he journals before every game. This is my goals for the game. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to go about my business. It has worked for Reed Garrett. He survived the offseason on the roster. A lot of Mets types in the organization vouched for him. he's showing why right now. This is not just the guy that the Mets see as a mop-up reliever. This is the guy who they want in high leverage, and it could happen here pretty soon.
Well, Anthony DeComo is a man with his finger on the pulse of the New York Mets. We thank you, Anthony. Good to see you as always. More to come here on City Pregame Live. The Mets bullpen, it bent, but it didn't break last night. And Drew Smith was a very big part of that as well. Going to zero in on how he navigated out of trouble in that 8th inning. We'll come back here in just a moment.
How'd it happen?
She showed up dead on arrival.
This never gets easier.
It does when you call CarShield before your car breaks down. Look at these prices. The camshaft, transmission, engine.
Don't people know? A plan through CarShield could protect up to 5,000 parts and systems.
You hate to see it.
An out-of-warranty car is going to break down eventually.
Right, which is why they need a plan through CarShield. Those expensive repair bills get paid and at the mechanic of their choice. They're notifying the family.
Poor guy. He doesn't even know what's coming.
Another victim of senselessly expensive repair bills. Can't save them all.
But we can keep trying. Didn't have to end this way. If he'd have just called CarShield before his car broke down.
Exactly.
Protect yourself from the unprecedented rise in cost for parts and repairs. Call now to save money with your price lock guarantee. Call CarShield now. Call 800-322-1066.
File 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. Form 1040 and limited credits only. See how at TurboTax.com. That's me!
Itch, itch, scratch, must not itch.
Stop the itch sanity with Cortisone 10 for bug bites, poison ivy, and other itches. Cortisone 10 is #1 doctor recommended. It works fast and lasts for hours. Cortisone 10.
Law offices of David Pengen today.
My law firm has been helping people facing financial difficulty for over 25 years.
With living expenses, we just couldn't afford our bills anymore. David and his team gave us a fresh start. All the harassing creditor calls, lawsuits, and garnishments stopped.
And remember, bankruptcy is not the end. It's a new beginning.
Call for a free in-office or remote consultation.
This is not the first all-electric car. That's because no BMW sees the road until it's reached the ultimate standard, our own. A standard that demands that every BMW drives and feels exactly like a BMW should. Unparalleled performance and precision handling made possible by electric engineering. But isn't that what you'd expect from the ultimate electric driving machine? Hurry in to lease the 2024 BMW i4 eDrive 35 for $499 per month.
Let's get a check right now who's making progress. Presented by Citi, and Drew Smith tossed 5 innings without having an earned run so far this year in 5 appearances. Came up huge last night, getting big strikeouts on Darno and Kelnick in the 8th inning, and then getting Austin Riley to hit into that inning-ending fielder's choice. And when it was over, Drew described pitching out of trouble in a hostile environment.
It was very intense. I don't know if you saw, but I had the pitch comm on 20 when the bases were loaded, and I couldn't hear anything. So. They were loud. Credit to them. It was a packed house, and it made it hard for me to hear the pitch comm. And obviously, I didn't hear anybody yelling "fence" when I was running to catch that little fly ball. So it was loud, and it was a cool environment for sure.
Is that 20 out of 20?
What?
Volume?
Yeah, it was on 20. It was on 20, and I could not hear it. So I called Alvy out, and then even after that, it was just kind of like a faint, like I could hear up or like slider, but it was just at other times I have it on like 12 or 13 because I don't want it to be too loud. Yeah. But I clicked it up. It was on like 17 when I went in, and I clicked it up all the way to 20, and I couldn't hear it.
All right, so now we know that the maximum volume on that is at a 20, but I want to ask you, Jerry, how challenging is it to be on the mound? The crowd is making a lot of noise, difficult to communicate. What's that challenge like?
Yeah, I've never used the pitch comm before. It's not something, but I know